So we mentioned before we want to do what's called Heavenly is on Cloak and Dagger. This is a plat 1 game, plat 2-ish. The biggest note I can say right now is just kind of what we call head on a swivel. So we know we're taking damage. We're not really self-aware of where we're taking damage. We just know we are. So one thing we can do is kind of like you see that you have your teams kind of really far forward, and we do have an invisible woman who can deal with the tanks. You have pretty decent range where you can help your DPS and your Thor who kind of wants to dive in. But the big takeaway here is the Iron Man is kind of just poking it for free, right? One thing that's really nice about Cloak and Dagger is because you don't have to aim so much. You can look at your magic, do a little damage to the Iron Man, then back, right? So it's kind of like heal, damage, heal, damage, heal, damage, just for example. The reason we do this is because we want them to run away. We don't want him to feel safe. We don't want him to think, I'm absolutely free, nothing's contesting me, I'm here. Even though you may not secure the pick, you can still force him to rotate out of your damage, even if it's not, feasible you're going to get the pick. So just take note of that. And you are... Okay. Just for people. Okay, right, so we're healing. Right. Try to survey around with your Thor is flying right now. Thor is flying. Thor is really is actually a really good tank right now if you know what you're doing. Proper cooldowns are like very key when it comes to playing Thor. He's a bully for like a group. He's a bully for Strange and for Magneto. So understanding like how you want to play Thor really will help you out. But like I said, that Iron Man is just there. You can see like. Pay attention to visual clutter, right? There's a lot what we call visual clutter. Is basically everything going on the map is like a visual effect you see, such as we see the burn from the Human Torch. We can see the webbing from Penny. We can see the their Mantis, shooting. Like all of this stuff is what we can visibly see, but we have to pay attention to what is like around us, right? So obviously we see the Human Torch's ability to run next to us, but we also have to pay attention to what's splashing around us, right? So right there, you can still see something is shooting at you. Try to find out where they are. Don't just be oblivious and just like be a heal bot. Your team is basically fully healed besides you, honestly. So one thing a lot of supports will do is they do what's called heal botting. Heal botting primarily how it works is you basically just focus on doing nothing but healing, and you think that you're not able to do damage. If you can learn when to do damage and when to heal and find that happy balance, you'll realize your games are a lot less stressful and a lot easier to climb with. So, with that being said, just kind of keep your head on a swivel, as mentioned before, and try to do some damage to the Iron Man so he's not really just attacking you. But like you're just pocketing your group for what reason? I could not tell you. And because you have such big health pools on your team, one, you can get your ult super fast. And two, you're allowed to do a little bit of damage because you do have, like I said, have that range. Like we're kind of just throwing abilities. The group ends up getting the Iron Man, which is to me a little bit hilarious. Okay. Right, so how I would rotate abilities with Cloak and Dagger. Obviously, if we have our bubble's a healing bubble, I would throw it at our feet if we need to. Your healing... What's up, Mecha? How you doing, bud? So, your healing wall, when you're getting ready to reload, that's when you want to throw your healing wall to give a quick burst of healing and then go through the animation of reloading. It's kind of the same thing, like you can kind of do a bubble slash wall, your healing wall, and then go ahead for a reload because that gives that burst heal real quick, and it hopefully sustains it to stay in your bubble while you reload. So rotate abilities properly. I'm good chilling in Final Fantasy. Have fun with that. I don't know. It is not a game for me. World of Warcraft I tried. I mean, I did play that for quite a while. Final Fantasy, ESO, which is Elder Scrolls Online. I've tried. Just not my forte, man. But it's as long as people enjoy it, that's all that matters, right? But rotate your abilities. Same thing is like we don't like. It's really like when you're playing a damage dealer and or a support. You yeah, it's not for everyone. Primarily, what we want to focus on is building ult as fast as possible. So we have 3 tanks that can help us build ult, but while they're full health, do some damage. That also will build up your ult charge. So that's why I was saying before is find that happy balance where you can do damage and heal, and you'll notice that not only do you get your ult a little bit faster, but you're able to just like do a little bit more and have a little less stress because they're not just freely attacking you. Right, like the thing going down there is not your fault, but if you had, again, if you had like your bubble, which you have, we'll go back a little bit. Like this is again abilities to use, right? So we don't have bubble and we do not have our wall, but why? Right? Why are we wasting these abilities? So ability management is really important. That'll also help you climb. So we had bubble, unfairly used it early. You're also able to put down bubble and switch damage while it's up. Agreed. Which we can kind of go over at one point. The biggest thing here that I noticed, at least in the flat lobby, is like a lot of people don't understand what the abilities can actually do and how you want to rotate them between them. Once you have a better understanding of how you want to rotate between abilities, it makes your life a lot easier. And it doesn't really matter what character you're on. You could be on Mantis where you're like, you know, planning out your sleeps, but you're planning on, you know, maybe headshotting the tank to rebuild, you know, your healing pots, or cloak and dagger. You can throw a blind, the blind wall, then immediately go right back to healing, and you know, you can help your team by helping them, right? You can. It's a happy balance between all support and damage too. I will say that you're a little too close to the team, and I only mean that because it's map specific. So it's like this, right? They have 2 flyers, 2 pretty decent flyers. Actually, technically they had 3 at one point. They switched. They did have an Iron Man, but they did switch. So let's go over lanes because this will kind of explain a little bit better how lanes work in any game that requires you pushing an objective. You have what's called the main lane. So I'm going to draw this out. Your main lane is where the objective is going to push, right? See if it draws it. It does not. I hate when it does that. All right, in a second, I'll reset it. Right, so you have your main lane. So we go here, draw that, draw that. Right, this is where the payload's going to go, right? So primarily in your lower ranks, a lot of people try to fight within the main lane, but there's no reason for us to do so. Unless, like, because unlike Overwatch, for those who have played Overwatch, you were required to stay on the payload to move it forward. Marvel Rivals, as long as they're, and I'll change the color to show this, as long as you have your team on the objective, it'll push on its own. So you can either play aggressive or passive. As long as it has enough people on there, it'll move on its own. Or again, if the enemy team, there's too many of the enemy team, it'll stop. That's just a little note. With that being said, as a cloak and dagger, we don't need to be stacked on the main lane with our entire team right here, especially when the enemy team has all flyers. So if they have, again, their flyers, which they do have the Johnny Storm up here, they have the Storm right here, and their main focus is the box. It's what we call a kill box. Their kill box is going to be anything within here, and that's just because of where the main lane is. With that being said, again, love my drawings because of lag, but how do we deny angles from both flyers at the same time while supporting our team? You do what's called off angling. An off angle is any angle that's within it still faces the main lane, but you're not directly on the main lane. For example, a good main off angle is actually right here, so you can still see your team. Another off angle where there's also a health pack is on the side of this building. Another off angle is technically right here if we were pushed forward a little bit more. And you're still able to visibly see the main lane, and you're still able to see your team without putting yourself in the open to be poked out. Because a lot of people, again, don't understand is those who have come from Overwatch will, but those who have not played hero shooters need to understand, like, it's not just about taking out the tanks, it's about taking out the support first. So if the enemy is going to focus the supports, you're going to be the main, anytime you're in the main lane, you're the primary focus at all times. So we need to deny angles in order for us to survive. The longer a support survives, the longer the easier the game's going to be. Because you build your ult faster, you're able to rotate abilities and deny. You just deny so much just because of all that uptime. So let's kind of continue on here. Nine. Right, but you see how like you're taking all that free damage right there is because you're in the main lane. Again, if we were to play it a little bit differently, where like you could play here, so the only person, like, they have to like basically rotate around to get to you, which puts them in danger of the hella, right? So again, we're off angled here, or if the payload's not too far forward, you're also technically off angled here. You're not on the main lane, right? We don't need to push main lane as a support. We really don't have to. All right, let's keep going. right? Like this is an off angle, right? And why are we here? We're here because we hear the ults, right? We hear the storm ult, we hear the whatever Johnny's ult. So we put ourselves on an off angle to deny that damage. But why not do that when they're not using abilities, right? Just kind of a concept. I kind of keep that in the back of your head. How can I position in a way that gives me an advantage while giving the enemy team less options? Pretty decent. Just remember that the nerf did come through. So unlike before where her ult was super strong because you could stack, it does not stack. So just remember that. This was good because obviously we know that we don't survive between Storm and Johnny when they both ult together. We know that we don't survive because of the fire tornado. So using it after, as long as our team is smart and doesn't just go down really quick, this is actually a pretty good play. Good bubble here. But like I said before, right? So we're healing. Now that they're full health, turn yourself, right? That's the storm. You can hit this for free because it auto locks. That's the best thing about Cloak and Dagger for those who are like not really good at have decent aim, is that she has the auto lock feature. So instead of sitting here like your team is full health, there's a storm, just do some damage. There's no reason for us not to do damage. That goes back to being head on a swivel. Just keep looking around and seeing what options you have, whether you need to heal, damage, or use an ability to, you know, keep pressure on the enemy team. So like right here, right? We never switch. You are what is considered a heal bot. But what could we be doing here, right? They are also running a group. So it's not bad to switch to Cloak and use your invisibility shield. Or not invisibility, like your blinding shield. So when their group tries to wall, he can't see. And like you can just use it almost passively on like tanks or even like on DPS that are in a bad position. And then you can, you know, bubble yourself on when you're on Dagger. It doesn't matter how you want to rotate the abilities, but the point being is we don't have to stay on Dagger the entire time. You can switch to Cloak and actually do stuff. Like, this was not bad. Again, the reason I mention it is because I want to do it sooner. The sooner that we can apply this, the more that our group can possibly even follow up with a wall, or we can find somebody else who's not paying attention. Right? Like, they have a penny right there. So why instead of going for the group, go for the penny? Again, positionally, we should be playing back. Because your blinding wall, healing wall has a good, decent range. I think it's like 10 to 15 meters. You would hit that from here. She'd go blind, and then your team can push her. Because the enemy team is already walled off by your group's wall. So just, again, pay attention. If you position a little further back, more off angles, less main lane play, you'll get a lot more potential picks. And you can even set up your team for good picks. Like that penny went down for first. So I would recommend, so one thing that if you did not know is with Cloak's ability is when you use, in this case it's going to be the RB, for most of us on PC it's going to be your shift. It denies damage because everyone gets invulnerable as long as they don't move, right? It's just one of those things, like you basically take your team and you can deny either like Jeff ults, Iron Man ults, even Spider-Man ults if you do it right. The idea is using those abilities to deny damage. Right? There's no reason why we haven't used it yet, and we're just holding abilities. We're too far forward again. Let's back this up a little bit. So how can we off-angle this? What would be the most ideal way to off-angle this? Is obviously watch out for webs. For those that don't know, Penny's mines do disappear. They kind of go invisible inside webs, so be careful where you stand when you go against a Penny. On top of that, we could stand, as an example, right here, which is an off-angle off the main lane, or we could even play kind of on the stairs. So we can kind of visibly see our team, and we can even do damage from a corner. You can almost, again, because we're on this angle, let me kind of revert this. Because we're Cloak and Dagger, we can throw our Blinding Shield to allow our Thor to do some damage here and assist with it. and then throw healing right on top of him with a bubble. If they dive us, we just use our, in this case, RB, put on PC to get your shift, to just rotate back to your team. So there's so many different ways you can rotate and help your team without actually needing to be directly in the fight. Like I said, right here, super optimal to throw a blind. And then you can also kind of play out either way. You can either play into this room here, in this corner. You don't need to be directly on top of your team, which if you watch, right? Look how close you are to this. Look how close we are. Like, at least your invisible woman's playing further back like she should be. But we shouldn't even be near this. Again, we have two supports. What would be the problem is if we played here, right? I'm not, like, on the stairs right next to us. Just play here. Or even play a little further back. We can blind her, get out. Just options. You gotta give yourself those kind of options. And again, ability usage here. Kind of go over it. So we have our heal. We got a little nervous. We got a little stressed. So we threw our heal wall. Instead of throwing our heal wall, we should have immediately, as we go into cloak, go ahead and use our RB. Or not RB, sorry. Whatever the spin is for console. I don't know. I know it's shift for PC. Because that's what your team denies the damage, you can switch right back to dagger and then, you know, heal up. For those that are just coming in, if you do want VODs reviewed, let me know. All you gotta do is !Discord and my Twitch. I don't have bots set up for TikTok, which I apologize. And if you guys can't hear me very well, you need to let me know. I'm still kind of adjusting. I just switched from Streamlabs OBS to OBS, so if the sounds are off, you need to I would appreciate if you guys let me know. If the music's too loud or whatever. So like we throw a blind here, right? So it's kind of like how a tank works. Like this ult was decent. It wasn't necessarily a bad ult. It wasn't a great ult either. But you have to think too is like survivability and your escape. So when we go into these kind of plays, how are we going to escape a bad situation? So if we didn't have a group wall to stop us and we kind of just pushed into their team, that Penny has something for us. The Mantis has a sleep for us, right? There's a lot of potentials that we can go down. It sounds good to you. Thank you. I appreciate that. The whole goal here is we want to survive, right? As support, we want to survive. We want to be able to do things that enable our team and apply pressure to the enemy team without putting us in danger. So again, this is not a bad ult, but we should have turned around before our last spin back to our team, just in case they had, like, again, the Penny can use her web. You have Mantis who can go through her sleep. Brute could wall, right? There's too much potential for a bad situation just because we ulted. Once again, we're too close because we can't see our team. We need to back up. That bubble wasn't bad. The Brute's actually pretty good. This is what we call chasing for heals. You notice that somebody's super low and you're purposely just running around the map trying to heal them. If you position properly, and we're going to go back to this. I'm going to keep kind of reiterating this. I don't want to go too much on it because I do want to make sure we get enough time for other VODs. But like, let's back this up. Okay. So your group gets an amazing, actually a pretty decent ult here. All right. We're stacked on the Penny. We're stacked on our team. We're on this ult. Right? Cool. Again, our team is low. You're pushing up a little bit because we're in the ult. It's fine. Group gets healed. Here's another off angle you can take. We're on the main lane. Get off the main lane. If you play in here, that Storm Kid's not going to be able to hit you for free. Then you can go ahead and heal up your Thor and or throw a blind. You're able to hit the Storm, forcing the Storm to run away. You're not on the main lane, you're off angle. This way you can heal your team. And if you need to run away, you have an ability that gets you out of dodge, while also enabling you to see more people and help. We're too stuck on straight. We need to try angling a different way. Right, again, chasing. If we played in a certain position, he was just waiting for you anyway.
shine.
I don't know what that rocket's doing there. Kind of like, again, we're just like, we're chasing so hard for this. Your Thor has so much potential to just go dashing away and grabbing a health pack. We're putting ourselves in danger and we're not paying attention to what's around us, and that's why we're probably gonna go down here. Right? She just almost gets you for free. And the reason for that is because we're chasing. If you position properly, you don't have to chase. Cannot stress that enough. Like, this was such a free pick for them. I'm not gonna, I'll go back over it again. Again, I want to be fair to these bots, right? Healing, we're healing, we're healing, we're healing. Like, we're just chasing this. Our Thor doesn't need us to chase this. We have the objective. If he needs it, he'll come to you. Otherwise, we'll just got this health back. That if we had played back where we could see our Groot and our Hela, we would have seen this Wanda. There's no reason for us to just start chasing like Wandas. Like, you're just chasing. You're hard chasing. And because we're hard chasing, we lose both the two people that we could be supporting while trying to support one person who's already grabbed the health pack and came back. Stop chasing for heals. So Wanda is very annoying, right? She's extremely annoying. Like, I'm gonna just reiterate this one more time. You just used your bubble and your healing wall. You can you can just heal your Groot, and then when he gets low, throw it at him. Like, you just wasted, I basically just threw every ability possible. For no advantage to you or your team. What if we need those for later? Like, you see how you're still out healing all that damage he's taking? Just from your primary fire? You're wasting ability. So now let's say we had our bubble or our healing wall. This would be the time to use it. Because we have one ammo left on our primary. We could throw the wall, we could throw the bubble, heal up our Groot, and then we can reload. Once again, we're sticking too close to the main lane. Well, we're sticking too close to our tanks. Wanda's on your booty.
And against the world.
So once again, for knowledge, it does not stack anymore. There is a change where her ult does not stack. So you don't need to cut. You need to do it to where you can extend it as far as you can, because you're just not going to be able to stack. But what you could do is you can ult once you're done, throw your healing bubble down, and go to do damage. Prepare yourself to run away, though. You're not going to be able to sustain yourself as you were before on Cloak and Dagger. That's every ult. See, that was good. She's still going to get you, but, like, that was better. You used it to escape. Basically, 3 ults. Obviously, your team got wiped, so going down is just, it's viable, right? We want to reset as a team.
I wasn't sure we'd get this chance again.
So the biggest takeaway so far, at least on your attack, I'm probably going to go to your defense in a second. The biggest thing is just paying attention to where your team is and position properly. Off angle as best you can. Deny angles from the enemy's damage dealers. And, like, just situational awareness, right? We cannot let this Wanda just walk around freely and just do that.
Get into some good trouble.
Alright. Alright, that was a good bubble. Good wall. But like, do you see what I mean? So if we want a VOD review, we just post it in the Marvel VOD channel. Yes, yes, Eladal, yes, you do. I'm actually in that. Like, I have it on my other screen, so just post it there. This is also free coaching. I'm not asking for subs. I'm not asking for follows. I'm not asking for anything. This is free coaching. I do this as a hobby. I did post the Discord earlier in chat for those on TikTok. If you guys need me to repost it, I can. Just let me know. Or you can just go to my Twitch, type in ! Discord, and that'll give you the Discord link. Again, this is absolutely free coaching. Go. There it is. Beautiful. Good food. That was good. That was actually really good. Now we're just... Everyone's trying their best. They're trying so hard. Long time no see. How you doing, buddy? I'm proud. It has been a while. So this is a hot take. I know I'm doing a VOD for somebody, but this is kind of a hot take. Penny into Invisible Woman is actually kind of good, especially when she ults. Because Invisible Woman and her whole team has to be grouped up on that ult for when she uses her, disappear, whatever you want to call it. If Penny ults and it just throws mines continuously there while booping them up, that's continuous like detonation damage. And that is actually kind of broken if played right. Just kind of like a hot take. I think that Penny is actually pretty good into Invisible Woman ult if played right. It's a hot take. You can take it as you want. I probably would have ulted this. Oh no. Oh no. That sucks. You guys actually might burn this and actually cast it. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. You did it too early. That's fine though. First round of capping. Not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. Sorry, it takes a second for me to find people on this. So, like, I need to go back. Where are we? Y'all crazy. I cannot believe... Okay, I lied. I can't believe this.
Battle starts in 5, 4, 3.
I'll make a recommendation for a position that is actually pretty decent for those who have range, and you can still kind of get away, especially on defense here. So what you can do, for those that don't know, there is this high ground here, which does wrap around. For those that didn't know, this actually wraps around completely to their spawn. If you did not know this. This is the high ground, right? So one thing that you can do, let's say you're playing like a Luna, a Mantis, or a Loki, even an Adam Warlock, someone who has pretty decent range with like little to no fall off, is you can stand roughly like right here, spam the door, and then you just rotate around back to where your team is. You can do some early damage, maybe get a free pick early. I don't recommend, again, main lane front and spawn, because their spawn's too close. You guys have, your spawn is all the way across the map over here. Like, there's no reason for us to be playing this close, especially not as a cloak and dagger.
2, 1.
Allow your team to do the damage for you. Like, there's no reason to play this close. Right, so I mentioned that rotation. The Wanda's making that rotation. we're gonna see how this plays out. I have a feeling it's not gonna go as you guys want it to. Because what ends up happening is we have what's called a split focus or different target priority. So what ends up happening is we got to think about where can they engage from? There's actually 3 angles on which they can engage from. So I'm going to kind of try to draw this out so you can see this, right? So what they could do is there is a door right here. They have the main door that they came through right here. And then they also have another angle, which is that back area that the wand is currently taking right now, right? So that's 3 different angles that they can push us. So if we're playing in a non-optimal position, which is right here, right? This is where we're playing. It doesn't allow us to see the 2 angles from the spawn where they can push us, right? So what ends up happening is now we're looking left, we're looking right, we're looking left, we're looking right. We're constantly just kind of like throwing heals, not even sure where our team is or what we're doing, and that applies a lot of extra stress for us. Why would you do that? There's no reason to apply this much stress to yourself. Instead, because we see that our team is kind of like holding them for like a half a second or so, you position in this part over here. So you guys can see I draw this, right? Now we have the option to heal damage here. Oh, you gotta draw. Thank you. And then heal damage this way, right? Now you can see 2 angles without being overwhelmed by where your team is actually focusing, right? This way you can still heal, you can do damage, and you have an escape because you're the furthest one in the back compared to where your team is. Just things to note. Because like I said, you're kind of just like here. It's like, oh, I'm looking left, looking right, looking left, looking right, and it's too much stress for support. Way too much going on. Way too much going on. Right? It just overwhelms you because you're trying to focus too much. You go down. It sucks to see it. Yeah, you're in there. There's nothing we can do about that. We're just way too deep. We're not paying attention to where they can attack us from, and we go down. There's nothing we can do. We cannot out heal that, and we don't. Our escapability is not long enough for us to really escape that much potential damage. Okay, we're in for our team a little bit here. Good bubble, delayed bubble. I like it. The delayed bubble is good here. That was a prime position for you to stay in. You have amazing range on your abilities. There isn't much reason for you to be in that fight. Exactly. On top of, as Becca just said, you have great range. Right? What is stopping you from just playing up here? If you have to drop, then go ahead and drop. But this is such an optimal position for you because now you can decide for yourself. I want to throw a blind. I want to throw a healing wall. I want to throw a bubble for my group. You know, maybe I want to get ready for a big ult. There's so much potential by staying up here. By dropping, we take away that entire option. So if they decide to rotate and take a different angle, right? Let's do this. Let's draw this out so everyone can kind of see this, right? If I'm playing on the high ground as Cloak and Dagger, I can deny angles because my damage is automatically like tracking. I can throw damage here. I can throw damage on the main choke. And I can also support my team pretty easily, right? When we fall, again, we're watching the high ground here. So I'm going to get rid of these little nodes here. I'm going to go down. Now I'm playing here. What deniability do I have as a Cloak and Dagger? I don't have any. My only focus now is the main lane. And my only escape option is to run backwards or into this small corridor. If I played up here, I can just get out. If my team gets wiped, I'm free. I'm free to get out. Right? You're good to go. However you need to. Your positioning definitely needs work. At best, you can play mid-range for when you're in DPS form, but other than that, being in the back on the high ground as well is not. Yeah. Okay. The ult here is actually pretty decent. Go back. Good. That was a good ult. right? On defense, well, I'll be damned. How you doing, bully? One thing I highly recommend is, like, you know, using ult aggressively in some situations. It's not as much defensively, especially because you got nerfed. You can use it offensively if you have an advantage. If you realize, like, you know, your invisible woman's, like, you know, really close to her ult, you can use yours first, and then basically deny that or force them to use ults. You can use it almost as a bait, especially if they don't have ults to kind of go off, right? Storm Johnny, or maybe they don't have, like, you know, Magneto. You know, you can use the ult as a bait in a sense, because her ult right now is really bad because it doesn't stack. Once it stopped stacking, it was bad. So, as mentioned before, what would be like such an optimal play here? If we were like on this high ground, we could have just spammed her out. She would have to use her abilities from such a far range to reach us that, one, you can reach your team from here, and you can almost reach your teammate from the top high ground from here as well if she walks out the door. I'll work on that, Mecha. I will work on that. I appreciate it. I switched over to OBS instead of Streamlabs OBS, and it's been kind of a fun project trying to get everything working, so apologies. Be faster at switching to cloak. The faster you are at switching, the easier it's going to be to deny the Wanda. I'm not sure if it's my end or not, but your mic seems to be not picking up everything. Are you sure? Are you sure? Am I peaking? Because it doesn't sound like I'm peaking. Or is everything else just too loud? Just let me know, because I need to adjust, like I said, I need to adjust everything. Sounds fine to you? Okay, then it's bully. It usually is just bully. And maybe my Twitch seems the whole audio, not just your voice. Gotcha. How long have we got left on this? We have quite a while. They do have. So instead of going, not that I don't want to go through the entire thing, right? All right, I got some replay things. Dope. Make sure I go over this as well. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I hear it. Are you using an adaptable threshold for your mic? Not necessarily, but I'm kind of working with some stuff. Hold on. Let's get the wavelength going and see what's going on. I'm still trying to fix everything. I have it maxed out, so that's surprising that it's not, you know. That's at 100. That's at 100. Am I Hey, Snippa, thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciated. How can I get coaching? Exclamation point Discord on Twitch will give you the Discord, and then you'll post it in the Marvel VOD review channel. Are you using by going to Nate's Discord and putting in the correct information? What are you talking about? Anyway, we're gonna continue on. I'm gonna be fair to the person reviewing. I'm pulling this review. I do reviews also on the Pro Discord. If you guys are part of the Pro Marvel Rivals Discord, I do VOD reviews on there as well as a lot of other, like, you know, One Above Alls, other coaches. So. In the VOD channel, yes. My cat locked himself into the room. I think allowing the penny to get that far in, or like you're playing that close where the penny can do that to you, is like a big indication that you need to play safer.
Let's get into some good trouble.
So the Marvel Rivals comp scene is actually awesome. I highly recommend, for those who played Overwatch and really enjoy Overwatch, to at least give it a try. It may not be for you. This is another hero shooter genre that we really needed in the scene to build upon a competitor for Overwatch. and I really believe this is a really strong contender. Hence why Overwatch is making so many changes. I will not say one is better than the other because it's all about what you enjoy. Join the Discord, I can't see the channel. They're not automatically giving. I can't see the channel. That's so strange because I'm not seeing you join. Are you already? Hold on. I'm not really sure. Oh yeah, go to roll assignment. Because it's not showing a welcome. But yeah, you get to go roll assignment for yourself rolls. Sorry. It's been a while, as you can tell. The rolls may not. Yeah, there's no roll channel. I don't even see you in here. I'm going through the events, rules, announcements. Gotta do our roll assignment. I have to fix all this. The thing is, I don't even see you in the welcome. It might just be the same issue, Mecha, that I was running into before that Fate had to fix. Because Fate put a bot on here, whatever this bot is. The Carl bot. It was one of Fate's. It's not visible to you? Okay. There we go. No, there we go. Let's give you. There we go. Try now. Snippo, try now. That's a whole new thing that Discord did. Kind of cool. Oh, it says you joined 6 years ago? Oh, you joined Discord. You joined. Okay, hold on. We're going to fix all this because I don't even understand what's happening. We're just going to give. We're just going to do this. Everyone who is supposed to have joined doesn't have at least some type of role. We're just going to give it. Help? Yeah. I don't think that worked the way I wanted it to. Let me just finish this. We'll go into. Okay, it works now. This cloak, I'd say, instead of reloading, swap to cloak and swap back to dagger. It ends up a lot on the end. It does, but that's the thing they're not doing is they're heal botting. That is the issue that they're running into. Being real. That is the issue they're running into. Is they're kind of heal botting. Their rotation of abilities does need work. And I will get that bot working again. I have to talk to, I think, Fate. Or maybe somebody who can help with that, because I'm really bad at this stuff. Pick a game that you had struggled in, or the game that you think you should have won. It's easier that way. Don't pick a game that you guys basically feel have. You need to pick a game where like you struggled or you feel like you should have won. Give me like 2 seconds. Yes. All right, I am back. Again, we're posting the raw data of raw bots on here. Yes, she technically has aim assist, but not necessarily.
My turn to shine.
2 seconds. What do we got? Up to the whole team. So it's just rinse repeat, right? We're too far forward. We're wasting abilities. Like it just go over like I mentioned, right? So we want to make sure that we're positioning properly. We want to make sure that we understand our abilities that we're supposed to be using, and at the time we're supposed to be using them. Also, just like put your what I consider head on a swivel. Look around, see what your options are instead of like rushing to think I only have to heal. You're able to do more than do so much more than heal. So that'll be it for this VOD. Again, this is gonna be the raw. This one's gonna be posted onto YouTube. So if you do enjoy the content on YouTube, go ahead, like, share, subscribe, or whatever. New to all this stuff, so I appreciate it.